Every time we say that we've seen the most bizarre thing of 2020, the year springs up another shocker. And this morning in India and this evening in the United States, exactly that happened. Now, President Donald Trump, the First Lady Melania Trump, they both have tested positive for the coronavirus after a close aide of the president herself contracted the virus. Now, he is into quarantine. The early reports show that he is doing well, he is asymptomatic, he isn't showing any decline in health as of now. But immediately the markets are suffering a short decline. And the question, there are a lot of questions actually, that what will really happen now? Because of course the White House, it has a lot of protocols, as a lot of movies have taught us. There are the secret bunkers, there are the secret service agents with their set of protocols, but that's for a very different scenario. That's for, say, a nuclear war or a 9/11 like situation. What happens if the president or the entire country is struck by a pandemic, as it is in this case? Now look at some aspects. The first is the constitutional aspect of what happens now. Now, if there is any fan of the West Wing, the famous 90s show, who's watching this, they would remember the 25th Amendment from the show. Now, what was the 25th Amendment about, for those who have not seen the show? Basically, the 25th Amendment in the Constitution of the United States, it allows the president to temporarily discharge his powers to either the vice president or the Speaker of the House, because he is unable to perform the duty. Now, in the line of succession, if I talk about, the next in line would obviously be the vice president of the United States, but that's going to be that one option, that of section 25th Amendment, that is. But here's a complicated part. What if the president and the vice president both tested positive for the coronavirus? Because everything is bizarre right now. There's still a lot of information that needs to come in. What if the vice president has been in touch with the president, because it's the election season, they are barely a month away from elections? What if the vice president also contracts the coronavirus? Now, the section 4 of the 25th Amendment, it instructs the Congress to legislate a line of succession, which was updated in the Presidential Succession Act of 1947. Now, who does this make the acting president? It makes it the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, who doesn't get along with Donald Trump, to put it very, very mildly. Now, a Democratic speaker would become the acting president. Now, the problem is, the Constitution of the United States does not define properly the inability where the president or the vice president or both cannot perform their duty. So there's a lot of ambiguity there, and there will be a proper dispute. If this thing goes down the constitutional line, there will be an endless dispute which will go to the court for sure. That is the first problem. Now, this is the Constitution, but there's a very alarming number which is coming from the CDC, that is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It says that people aged between 65 and 74 are 5 times likely to be hospitalized and 90 times likely to die than those aged between 18 and 29. Now, this statistic is important because Donald Trump himself is 74 years of age. He lives on a healthy diet of junk food and sodas, as a lot of youngsters in India do, and he is overweight. His body mass index is more than 30. So, of course, there is obviously a threat to him because of his lifestyle, though he doesn't smoke or drink. So, the comorbidities will be down to minimal. But even then, there's a lot of unsurety as to how his body may respond to the coronavirus. Now, that is the constitutional problem. That's just a very small problem here. The second is what happens with the elections. What happens with the elections that are due in the United States? Trump is fighting for a second term. Joe Biden, who was vice president in the Obama term, he is fighting for his first term. Now, for one, the narrative will shift to the coronavirus because 200,000 people have lost their life in the United States. suddenly the questions will all be about coronavirus, the discussion will all be about coronavirus. The Democrats will come hard at Donald Trump, rest assured. Of course, there will be some sanctity, of course, given the health. I'm sure the leader of the opposition or the leader of the Democrats won't go to a Republican and make use of his ill health to further his political propaganda, as we saw once with the Congress party in India with Rahul Gandhi. But even then, the narrative will be about the coronavirus, the Black Lives Matter, the rioting, the economy booming, the markets, that will all take a back seat. Now, the Democrats will play it like that 200,000 people died. The president could not even protect the White House from the pandemic. And let's be honest, Donald Trump hasn't been very serious about the pandemic. He's disregarded the idea of wearing masks just on the recent debate with Joe Biden. He said that I carry a mask and I wear it whenever I want to, but I cannot wear it all the time. Now, this is the question everyone is going to ask, that Donald Trump wanted to open the economy. He wanted the schools to open. He wanted people to go out and spend money. How does that happen now? That's going to be the next challenge. The other challenge would be, just 72 hours ago, Joe Biden and Donald Trump were sharing a stage. Now, no one from the campaign team of Joe Biden has spoken yet at the time of this video being recorded. What if Joe Biden was also to contract the virus? What if he also tested positive? There was no love lost between both of them on the debate pedestal, but the virus doesn't care for that. The transmission of the virus doesn't care for that. So what if Joe Biden also tests positive? What will happen to the elections then? Because already ballots have been sent to the voters in 30 states. The logistics are already under play for the election. What happens then? That's the second question. The third question is the polling numbers. Now, I spoke about how the Democrats might use the coronavirus news of the president now, but what will the Republicans do? Remember that event where Obama insulted Donald Trump? It's a viral clip on YouTube. It was perhaps the gathering of all the press corps members in the White House, and Obama made fun of Donald Trump, and he also challenged him to run for the presidency, and Donald Trump eventually did and won. So Trump likes to come out as a hero out of situations like these. And what if this happens again? 14 or 20 days later, just another fortnight in the run up to the polling day, what if Donald Trump becomes the American hero, the boy or the president who lived, if I take a Harry Potter reference here? Can he change the narrative in his favor? Now, if I go by the numbers for previous incidents like these, President Ronald Reagan approval in the news polls, it rose by 11 percentage points after a failed assassination attempt on him. But that was historical nevertheless. Let's talk about Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson had a very close tryst, the UK Prime Minister, very close tryst with an unfortunate, untimely death because of coronavirus. What happened to his popularity? 51% of the British people, they had a favorable opinion of him. 17 points up from the previous month, just after he came strong from the coronavirus. And let's remember, even Boris Johnson was very rash about dealing with the virus. He also went around not wearing masks and not shaking everyone's hands, and yet his popularity rose because people saw in him a hero, a survivor. Will the Republicans and some voters who are confused between the two candidates also see the same in Trump? That's the last question. The other question is, can the Republican Party change its candidate right now? Can another person be nominated? Can the vice president be nominated as the presidential candidate? Now, the ballots have been sent in 30 states to the voters. Voting is already underway. The vice president's candidates, they are set to have a debate later this week. What happens? Because let's remember, if there is 2 weeks of quarantine, there will be an additional week of rest, and that barely leaves time for Donald Trump to cash in on any fundraisers, on any rallies, or any sort of gatherings he likes to enjoy, where he likes to interact with the crowd. Let's remember, he was very vocal in the recent debate where he said, the people like to come and listen to me, so I go there. What if he cannot do it now? What if the Republican Party see his popularity eroding? It can work either way. He may come out as a hero, or his mere absence may swing the entire election towards Joe Biden. That's the electoral problem. And last, I'll talk about the US-China thing. Now, unfortunately, if Donald Trump becomes very seriously ill because of the coronavirus, or worse, if he becomes the 9th president in office, the first since John F. Kennedy to pass away while in office, would it classify as an act of war? Because the president has been very, very, very vocal that this is a China virus, that this is a Chinese problem they have given to the entire world. What happens then? What if Donald Trump comes back for a second term, raises tariffs on China as a vengeance act of vengeance for the entire coronavirus scare? What if the tariffs go on? What if he signs an executive order, which he previously threatened, mind you, for companies to move their supply chains and their businesses completely out of China? So the US-China tensions will touch a new high, and a very new high if Donald Trump comes back for the second term. Now, this is the important question. The economy will also be a great question in the United States, because again, Trump was talking about opening. He was talking about opening while Biden was talking about closing down the economy. This was one of the heated arguments in the recent debate. What happens when the president of the United States himself contracts the virus? What it does to the spending, what it does to the revival of the economy? What is now going to be the future of the opening of the US economy? That is the question that remains answered. So there's of course a lot of ambiguity right now when it comes to the constitutional problems, the electoral problems, the US-China problems, and one can really hope that the president of the United States, irrespective of which party he belongs to, he comes out stronger, he comes out better of this coronavirus scare, and the elections in the United States go on as scheduled, and the Chinese virus stops taking a toll on everyone ASAP, because this year has seen enough of coronavirus. It really needs to stop somewhere. Thank you.